moment. As for Manchester United then, that unbeaten run continues. They now slip even further behind Chelsea. Sol, is the top four their only target now, do you feel?
No, there's you never know, but to jump over the teams in front of them is going to be very difficult. I think you've got to almost say, right, let's see how many games we can win and see how far you can go, and you never know, it could happen. The top teams could beat each other, or you can slip, and you can get a couple of losses and we can sneak in. You never know. As a footballer, you've got to keep on going. Never give up, because you just never know. And the moment you give up and then they say the top two teams have a bit of a wobble, a couple of losses, and then you'll be kicking yourself and say we should have concentrated and done everything in our powers to kind of see if we can catch them.
65% possession, 25 shots. It's a similar story, isn't it, to other games? Why do United struggle to convert those chances? They're certainly blessed up front, aren't they, with talent? What's going on?
It just works out that way sometimes. I think United have drawn too many games. They've been in position. To be honest, they've been down to Stoke a couple of times. I think at home they were down to Stoke, and now away they were down to Stoke, and they came out with a point where realistically, you know, United want to be winning those games, and you know, drawing too many games, that means you lose 2 points every time, and if you add those probably 2 or 4 points onto their tally, they're in the top four. So that makes a massive difference, and sometimes it's the little details. They're finding their feet. Jose Mourinho's putting that squad together now. They've got an unbeaten run, but to win consistently is hard.
Liverpool, I'm finding that as well. 3 games without a win now. Beaten at home by a side who began Saturday bottom of the table. Same question for you about United. Is that their title chances over for Liverpool?
You know, I thought Liverpool was kind of finished with those kind of games. You know, last season, Klopp was trying to work it out. How this league is so difficult. Why is this bottom team, you know, taking me to the wire or even beating me? And I don't think they've learned from that, really. You know, considered, you know, bottom of the league or bottom 3 Swansea, and have come back and have beat them at home. I think maybe a little bit of attitude towards the players, the Liverpool players, to kind of, you know, come up and realise, you know, we don't care if you're at the bottom of the league. I'm going to come out and I'm going to think you're the top of the league. That's the attitude you've got to come with, and that's what I would come up with, because if you don't, that's how you come unstuck. And, you know, 3-2 to Swansea, it's an uphill struggle. I think they still can do it, but they've got to get out that kind of out their system of the back line, and almost, you know, when Newcastle's were going for the Premiership, you know, we can score more goals than you. You can't win Premierships like that. You just can't. You've got to be solid at the back and go from there.
So do you see fundamental flaws then in their back four then?
Well, no, not fundamental. I think it just comes down to attitude and the right positioning and applying yourself. That's it, really, because the players they've got, they can do that. It's just not worked out like that. And sometimes you've got to keep on working that through and believing in yourself. But at the moment, they seem to be scoring a lot of goals, but then they're letting a hell of a lot of goals as well.
Because much has been made, especially from set plays. Once again at the weekend, it was the second ball from a set play that they fell foul to, and a goal was scored. That's everyone's duty, though, isn't it?
Of course it is. You know, you score as a team and you defend as a team, especially when it's in your box. People have to put their bodies on the line. But I think it's that mentality where, you know, you're playing Swansea and they're bottom of the league, and as Sol rightly said, having that mindset that they are dangerous, because Llorente's proved that he can score goals in the Premier League, so we got to shut them down. For me, it just seems a little bit easy-ozy. It's, you know, that mental sharpness just isn't quite there where it was there earlier on in the season. The quicker they get that back, the quicker they're challenging again.
Who for you, out of that top 6, is the biggest challenger for Chelsea than Tottenham for you?
For me, it's Tottenham, because they look, even when they don't play well, they look solid and they can get a result.
For you, Sol?
It's definitely Tottenham. I think if Arsenal can get their kind of everything into gear, they could be definitely a challenge. I think over the next month we'll decide. We'll see what's happening. It will definitely shape up, and I think the league in the next month or 6 weeks will narrow down to maybe 3 teams who can win it. At the moment, you never know. You never know. But Tottenham and Arsenal are there. And Liverpool, if they get their act together, can definitely do it.
It's going